Hi, my name is Patrick Woods. I created this game, Big Board Raiders, in 1974, and I copywrote it as Big Board. But in 1978, the New York Stock Exchange trademarked the words Big Board to be synonymous with NYSE. So in 2005, I re-copywrote this as Big Board Raiders. And they opposed, when I applied for a trademark, they opposed it. So anyway, I'm claiming this is my trademark, unofficial. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to unbox this game, and then I'm going to tell you maybe some of the attributes that you can expect from it. So let's do that. Here is the game. These are the certificates. These are the cards. This is a tray for the currency. These are called proxy sheets. I'll explain that later. Here's the board. And what you see behind me is a blow-up of it. So it's for illustration, so I can film it and explain it to you, because you wouldn't be able to see it on here. So we'll just put this here to the side. This is a tray for the certificates. This is the currency. And these are the play pieces. When you're unboxing this thing for the first time, in there is a rule book and a DVD. Throw them away. They're obsolete. They were done in 2005. In 2008, the rules changed drastically. Clinton changed all the rules and made it like the Wild West, and they got away with murder. So anyway, I updated the rules to be post-Clinton. That's what the rules are now. So that's the current set of rules. And that's the one that's in the PDF. And from that, I came to the conclusion that printing a rule book and making a DVD is kind of like a snapshot in time, and it doesn't take long and it's out of date. So what my intention is to do, to make these videos and keep them up to date, and also make a PDF available and keep it up to date, and you have access to those all the time. So with the basic stuff that's in the box, you can always have the latest version. So for illustration, I made the play pieces big so they film better, because these are fairly small. So let's put this together, ready to play. Now, when you first get your game, you're going to find out that these are out of order. They weren't collated. I asked them to be collated. They weren't collated. So here is a graphic showing you how many different kinds of certificates there are. To show you that these need to be collated only once. And this is how you're going to collate them. Shares, which are equity, they are in the landscape view, always. Has been for hundreds of years. So we have Yellow Company has common and preferred shares. They have 5 and 10,000 share certificates in common, 5 and 10,000 share certificates in preferred. Same with Blue. Blue has 5 and 10,000 common, 5 and 10,000 preferred. These Yellow and Blue have the same structure, and that's important when you're going to decide to take it over. Red and Green have the same structure. They only have common shares. So they have 5 and 10,000, 5 and 10,000. This is equity. They also have debt. And debt has always been in the portrait view. Goes back a long ways. So Yellow and Blue Company have bonds. These are secured bonds. Red and Green Company have debt, but it's debentures, and they're not secured. So if the company goes broke, you lose. As well, here's the currencies. Okay, they're printed front and back, and this takes place in a country called Rutland. And you'll notice here, this guy here that's me. I'm the president of Rutland. Anyway, we have also cards, and they are time cards and a year-end card, puts, calls, and rights offerings. And I'll explain those as we get to them. So this is the different pieces of paper, certificates, currency that you'll find in the game. So I'll just put that over here. So now let's lay this out in the currency tray. So this is the okay, just for good housekeeping, I always put the 5,000s in front of the 10,000s, and that way you can find them easily. So these two back trays here are for Red and Green Company, and the front trays are for Yellow and Blue Company, because they have different share issues. So these are the common shares. Then behind that goes the preferred shares. That's in this here cavity. And then is the bonds. So that's how you lay out the tray. And this is an identical copy here. So green debentures. Green common shares. There's the blue debt. Here's the blue preferred and the blue common. So that is the currency tray. The certificate tray. Here is the currency tray. So you notice that the smallest cavities are in the front. That's because there's the least of the smaller bills. When this thing gets rocking, $50 bills don't mean a lot. What happens is that nobody's eliminated in this game, and everybody's money and power grows and grows and grows. So it becomes very inflationary. Inflation is built right into it. So that's the currency tray. So now we have the cards. Okay, these are puts. I'll explain what puts are. I'll tell you quickly. Puts are options on the short side. Calls are options on the long side. Doesn't mean a lot to you now, probably, but it will. These are the rights offerings. Now, here's an important thing about the time cards. There's time built into this game, so that your bonds pay interest at the year end, your directorships pay salaries, things that are related to time. So when you first start the game, you pile these cards. You pile 4 time cards and a year end card. 4 time cards and a year end card. Can you see that? 4 time cards and a year end card. And you go through the whole thing like that. So then, oops. So then they're piled up like this. Now, there are more cards than there are year end cards. And that's so that you don't get used, there's uncertainty to it, or which cards are going to be in the deck, because there's some nasty ones. And believe me, you don't want them. Okay, now there's a thing, these are called proxy sheets, okay? And every player gets a proxy sheet. And when you're I'll explain the proxy sheets later. So, when you start the game, you get a proxy sheet, you get a pencil to record, you get $10,000 each player, $100,000, okay? So that's 100. And you select a man. And there are 4 dice, okay? And you always use these 2 dice. These 2 dice let you travel around the board. Now, you've got a choice between these 2 dice, okay? When you start the game, you use the yellow die. It goes from 1, 2, 3, okay? This red die goes 1 to 6. Now, these 2 dice control the magnitude of the market fluctuations. So, this has got twice the volatility of the yellow. So, you don't start with this. And there's a time card that switches you to this die. And that stays in effect until a year end. And then you go back to that die. So, that's how that one works. Now, there are these big board markers right there. Where's the other one? There he is. Okay, so these little guys here, that's these guys, okay? This is the big form of them. So they get placed at issue at the very start of the game. And then there are pawns. There are 10 of them. I guess I could have dumped it out. Now, there are 10 pawns, but 4 of them are reserved. Okay? Which means there's 6 left. Now, somebody, not me, said that this is a game for 6 players because there's 6 pawns. It's not true. It's not true. It's a game for 4. These pawns are reserved. They go on these spaces right here, and they stay there until somebody claims them. These are called escrowed directorships. And don't be worried about the word escrowed. Escrowed just means it's held there until the condition's fulfilled. And what are the conditions? Well, the condition is that you got all 6 here on your proxy sheet. First to get all 6 yellows, you claim this, okay? So say there's these 4 guys there, wherever they are, okay? So say that brown guy, he was the first to get all 6 yellows. He takes his brown guy and retires him. Now that's him, okay? And you can't lose that. You can, supposing the condition comes along that you also get 6 of something else, you can say, okay, I'm going to jump ship, so you can retire that one and you get this one, which makes that available to somebody else who get next guy to get all 6. So 4 players, there's 1 of these for each player. Nobody's eliminated. It may take you longer to get one, but there's 1 for you. Nobody can keep 2. So that makes it inclusive. Then you're going to choose, from the other 6 colors, you're going to choose a pawn, and you're going to put it on the board anywhere you want. Then you're going to, each player is going to get a proxy sheet, a pencil, and $100,000. And then you determine who's going to go first. I don't know, roll the dice or however you want to do it. And each player puts his pawn wherever he wants. He can start wherever he wants. And that's it.